June, the Board of Supervisors approved funding for rental assistance for families who are experiencing financial hardship due to COVID-19. The goal is to minimize any disruption of families and their households, any displacement or evictions. That's the overall goal. We estimate to serve up to 6,000 families who have rental obligations between March and December. That, of course, depending on the rate at which we expend the funds. So based on fund availability, the program can continue through December. The county COVID rental assistance program will not be operating in Phoenix and Mesa. They directly receive their own CARES funding. So the program is administered by the county Human Services Department. And what we're doing differently, it's a big county, 4.5 million people, spread out, large distances. So we're going to rely on the network of local service providers, both cities, towns, and nonprofits, to deliver, as we have through our community action program for decades. We've got 11 different entities that are working with us on this. Cities such as Avondale, Gila Bend, Surprise, Tolleson, Guadalupe, Scottsdale, and Glendale, and nonprofit agencies, Tempe Community Action, Ascend in Chandler, and FSL that is serving Wickenburg and Peoria. So those are the local agencies that are going to be administering the program on our behalf. We've allocated some of the $30 million, up to $2 million for funding for additional staff, and we estimate that we're going to have between 75 and 80 people working on this program throughout the county. We've operated multiple grants for a long time, serving a variety of needs to low-income families and households. It's a complex array, but by applying through community action programs, they can also access 7 different utility assistance programs we operate and 2 other rent assistance programs that we operate. So one of the objectives was to simplify this as much as possible and yet be clear that we're operating a program with integrity and we're taking serious our role as fiscal stewards. So there was a balancing act. We don't want something so complicated that it slows down the process and get to the people that have an urgent need. And we understand the devastating social, economic, and personal impact of the COVID-19 crisis on so many of our county residents. We also are aware of the expiration of the federal and state eviction moratoriums and the likely run out of the extended unemployment insurance benefits, all hitting at the end of July. It was really important for us in an incredibly short period of time to bring up a program before those dates hit and to be fully up by August when we expect a large number of people to request assistance. So the funds are only going to be available for 5 months, and it's a lot of money in a 5-month period. We're going to have to be spending at a $6 million per month clip to utilize all the funds. And yet we're aware of other programs that in a very short period of time have had more applicants than the funds they had could support throughout the country. That's been happening. We're going to monitor the utilization of these funds on a regular basis, daily, weekly. We can probably have monthly reports as we begin to roll this out, and we're going to make adjustments, and we're going to change program requirements if necessary also, if some prove to be too burdensome. So what's different about this than the other programs that we run, the anti-poverty programs we run, some of the features are this is a higher level of eligibility than our typical programs that are poverty level or maybe 200% of the poverty level. This income was set at 100% of the area median income, which is equivalent to 300% of the poverty level. We're going to pay set amounts of money. The calculations to determine what amount is due and what part may be fees and other items also slows down the process. So we're going to pay $1,500 a month, and we determine that number by looking at median cost for rents for apartments, 2-bedroom that can support a family, as well as rental homes, and that's how we determine that. We're going to pay landlords directly, so landlords will verify that that is the amount due to them. They'll submit a form that will do that, and also, based on the demand that we expect, we're making a point that retroactive payments are going to be allowed. We think we have limited documentation required in terms of just evidence of the COVID impact on the family, which is required by the federal funding source, the CARES Act funding, photo ID, lease agreement, and household income. There is no family share of costs in this program. And I mentioned early utility assistance, so we're going to be bundling our services. Many families can also qualify for help with their utility bills during this time. We feel if we provide comprehensive services to family, they'll be better able to prevent evictions and be better able to support their families. The beauty of working with the local agencies in their communities, they're known, they've got a great reputation for delivering high-quality service and access other services in their community. Transportation services, food bank, clothing banks, those kind of things. So we're going to make available to families who apply broader services if they request those. If not, if they just want rental assistance, they'll be able to do that too. So the demand is unknown. I think we've all seen estimates that have been that there'll be a minimal impact up to hundreds of thousands of people impact. So we're going into an uncharted territory in terms of what we'll know. But we know that there's hundreds of thousands of renters in the area of Maricopa County, exclusive of the city of Phoenix and Glendale. Over 300,000 renters in the area. So we also are aware that local communities themselves are developing rental assistance programs. So we're going to work with some of the other funders to put together a comprehensive list of all the different sites for everyone in Maricopa County where they can go to get assistance, to try and clarify for that. Applications are going to be taken and served on a first-come, first-served basis. We're committed to doing this as quickly as possible. We appreciate everybody's understanding, and I would urge all renters to stay in close contact with their landlords. If you're speaking to your landlord and they know that you're applying for county rental assistance funds, you may be able to work out arrangements to not disrupt your living situation. So we encourage you to do that. For more information about this program, we'd go to maricopa.gov/COVID-rent-help. maricopa.gov/COVID-rent-help. Or contact your community action agency, which is also on that website. You'll be able to see all those communities I named earlier there and understand how to contact them.